Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Smart GS. Myself Praveen. In this entire video, we will try to analyze few terminologies around monetary policies and fiscal policies. So let's get started. Here we go with monetary policy. Before starting the discussion, so please watch before video about inflation under module 3. In that entire session we have discussed what is meant by inflation and what is the consequences of inflation and why this inflation we have to learn and what are the ways of measures of inflation and how to regulate this inflation deflation situation we have seen. Under this ways of regulating these measures of inflation deflation, the continuation topic is monetary policy and fiscal policy. How to regulate this inflation deflation situation. Inflation is not good for any developing country. It has to control. So how to control? There are two bodies. So that is RBI's monetary policy and the government's fiscal policy. So here RBI will use some tools. That is RBI's monetary policy. So here first of all we have to know the role of monetary policy. So here the role of monetary policy is to circulation of money in the financial system, and it has to determine the size and rate of growth of money supply, and it is to protect the intrinsic value of the rupee, and it is to ensure the price stability. The main important thing is to ensure the price stability, and that leads to equal growth in equity. We have to grow in equity manner. We should not grow in an unequal manner. Neither of section should not hurt by the policies made by Government of India and RBI. So it mainly it keeps the target of CPI inflation. The RBI monetary policy will keep anchor as CPI inflation. There are two types of inflations, CPI and WPI. So by keeping as a reference of CPI inflation, the RBI will work as by doing monetary policies. While doing monetary policies, it keeps reference as CPI inflation. So here Government of India will fix some inflation target. So that inflation target at present is 4 to 6%. Okay, minimum of 2% should be there in developing countries, and there should be maximum of 6%. So here this type, especially in developing countries like India, it has to be maintained within the target of 2 to 6%. This is nothing but walking inflation. So there are categories, five types of category of inflations are there. Creeping inflation, walking inflation, running inflation, galloping inflation, and hyperinflation. Creeping inflation is nothing but it ranges from 1 to 3%. Walking inflation is nothing but 4 to 10%. And running inflation is nothing but 11 to 20%. And galloping inflation means 21 to 50%. And hyperinflation means greater than 51%. So recently Venezuela has encountered with this hyperinflation. So it is very dangerous for any country. So the prices should not increase over a period of time by 51%. For example, a pen cost is 10 rupees at present. Over a 1 year period, it has become 60 rupees. So no one will become to consume that product. No one will become ready to consume that product because the price value has been gone. The value of rupee has gone. So it has to protect that value of rupee. To preserve that value of rupee, there is some body of RBI and another side is Government of India. So here the question is, who will fix this target? Government of India. And who should monitor this target? RBI. So RBI's role is to limit that target within that range fixed by Government of India. So under this there are two measures. So RBI will use some two measures, quantitative measures and qualitative measures. Under quantitative measures there are three types: banks, policy rates, and reserve ratios, and open market operations. Under banks policy rates there are two types: repo rate and reverse repo rate. Under reserve ratios there are two types: CRR, cash reserve ratio, and SLR, cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. Under open market operations, RBI will sell and buy the government bonds. So here we will know how this by using these tools how this inflation and deflation will be controlled by RBI. We will see in a while. Before that, for example, I have got with some repair of my bike. My bike has some repair, so I should use some tools to repair that bike. Similarly, if Indian economy faces some problems by higher prices or lower prices, so RBI use some tools to repair that Indian economy situation. So that is nothing but monetary policy. So here the monetary policy will consist of a monetary policy committee. That committee consists of 6 members, including RBI chairman. So now we will see what is the tools here. Individual repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, SLR, and open market operations individually in a brief manner, and how we have to apply this concept to how to regulate this inflation deflation situations in present country. So here we go with quantitative measures. Under this quantitative measures, the repo rate and reverse repo rate we have to see. So first of all, the repo rate. Repo rate is nothing but it is the rate of interest that RBI charges from its clients. Clients is nothing but scheduled commercial banks. So here these are helpful for liquidity adjustable facilities. The RR and RRR are also called as liquidity adjustable facilities. So here the liquidity is adjusting by RBI for short-term borrowings. So these RR and RRR are also useful for short-term borrowings. For example, RBI and some client, its client SBI. So RBI will become here lender and SBI will become borrower. So SBI will borrow some money from RBI. In return, SBI will give some percentage of interest. So this percentage of interest is nothing but repo rate. So repo rate is also called as lending rate. The most of Western economies it is also called as rate of discount. So it is very important. What is the rate of discount? It is nothing but repo rate. Repo rate is nothing but it is the rate of interest that RBI charges from its clients. Okay. So basically to adjust liquidity in banks day-to-day operations. So here there are three types of operations are there. Call money. There are three types of monies. Call money, notice money, and term money. So call money is nothing but, for example, a client whenever it want money for 1 day, it is nothing but call money. From 1 day, 2 days to 14 days, whenever a bank wants money, it is nothing but notice money. So 14 days to some period, it is nothing but term money. So depending upon its requirements, it asks money. So it is nothing but short-term liquidity adjustable facilities. So short-term borrowings, these are nothing but. So these RR and RRR are nothing but used for short-term borrowings. So under RRR, the mechanism will be reverse. RBI will become borrower and SBI will become lender. So whenever additional funds are parking in SBI, so that additional fund will park with RBI. So here additionally the RBI will give some rate of percentage of interest. So always note that the RRR is always less than RRR by 0.25 percentage. If RR is 5%, then this RRR will be always 4.75%. So here in this case, in this RRR, when the SBI will contest lot of use of deposits during the times of demonetization. One is the example of demonetization. In times of demonetization, the 500 and 1000 rupees are deposited in SBIs. So that additional money has to be parked with RBI to earn some income. SBI will park some money with RBI. In that way, the SBI can earn some money. So here in this slide we have seen some what is the significance of RR and RRR. Now we have to apply this. How to apply with this? How to control? With using this RR and RRR, how to control the inflation and deflation, we'll see. So here it is under RRR. In times of inflation, the RBI in times of inflation is nothing but money supply excess money supply in the market. To control that excess money supply, due to that excess money supply, the prices of goods will be automatically rises. So this is the bad situation. It should be controlled. So to control this price and to stabilize this price and to get down this inflation, the RBI will use this repo rate with increase. So RBI will increase this repo rate so that deposits will be costlier. So deposits will become costlier. So how it will be costlier? For example, SBI giving some higher interest rates whenever we deposit some money. So automatically depositor excess money holders will deposit in SBI to get some interest rates, to earn some higher interest rates. So in this way the money supply will be sucked into banks. In times of deflation, the money supply will be lower. To infuse that money supply into the market, here the loans should become cheaper. Okay, how these loans will become cheaper? By decreasing the repo rate. So by decreasing the repo rate, the loans will automatically become cheaper and the investors will take the loans at cheaper cost, and that investors will prefer to build some infrastructure. From that infrastructure, an individual can earn some money. With that income, the individual can consume some more goods. If they consume some more goods, the goods demand will increase. Due to that, supply has to increase. Due to that supply, the production has to increase. If the production is increased, the growth will automatically increase. So in that way, we have to link with inflation and deflation situation to economical growth. So it is very important to control this inflation and deflation situations. So here under RRR we have know that. So we have already said it is a reverse concept of RR. So in this way, by using this RR and triple R, the RBI will control the inflation deflation situation. Next we will see under reserve ratios of CRR and SLR. So under that conditions, how the RBI will control, we will see in this in a while. So under this quantitative measures, the second tool is the reserve ratios. Under this there are two types of tools, the CRR and SLR, cash reserve ratio, and SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. So the name itself, it is reserve ratio. So here the banks has to reserve some money in form of cash or gold or bond, anything. So why we have to reserve some cash? To prevent some uncircumstances, to prevent some systematic risk. Okay, so here what is the background of the CRR measure? Here it is derived from, where it is derived? It is derived from section 42 of 1 of RBI Act 1934, and it is derived from section 24 of Banking Regulation Act 1949. So it is very important where it is derived from. CRR is derived from section 42 of 1 and SLR section 24. So here what is the importance of CRR? It has to reserve some 4% of money with RBI in form of only cash on every Friday. So here SLR some 18.25% of cash or gold or bond in form of anything or securities, it has to reserve with bank itself on every day evening. So this is very important about CRR and SLR. CRR has to reserve 4% of money only in form of cash with RBI on every Friday. SLR 18.25% of cash or gold or securities or any bonds or anything, it has to reserve with bank itself on every day evening. So here NDTL is nothing but net demand time liabilities. So here demand is nothing but fixed demand deposits are nothing but CASA ratio, that is current account, savings account. Time deposits are nothing but fixed deposit, bulk deposits, recurring deposits, these. So when in a bank overall 100% of NDTL, or in a 100% of NDTL, 18.25% should be kept as a SLR and 4% should be kept as a CRR. So in this net demand time liabilities, 100% of demand, so demand time liabilities. So here we have known that CRR and SLR, how it what is the phenomenon of CRR and SLR we have known. Now we will apply this concept to regulate this inflation or deflation situation. So here in times of inflation is nothing but money supply increase. So due to excess money supply in the market, the money supply has to suck from public into banks. So here banks has to increase the CRR. The RBI will increase the CRR so that, for example, 4% to 5% has increased. So here, so that 1% has to reserve with CR RBI. So here banks itself has to park with RBI under CRR. So that 1% should get from public. So in this way we can control the money supply, excess money supply under CRR. So in times of inflation the CRR has to increase. In times of deflation the CRR has to decrease, because in times of deflation the money supply has to be infused into public, so that the bank has to reserve lower CRR in RBI itself. So that is the concept of CRR in times of inflation or deflation. So in this way the money supply can be lowered in public, or money supply can be excess in money supply in times of CRR. So this is the same concept will apply to SLR also, but in terms of bonds, securities, cash, liquidity. So these are the forms of SLR. So next we will discuss about the third category of open market operations. So here RBI uses one of the tool called open market operations. Under open market operations, RBI will sell or buy the government bonds. So here, for example, in times of inflation, the money supply will be excess in public. So it has to suck from public. So here the RBI will sell the bonds, and extract money from public. So simply RBI will sell bonds to public and extracts money from public. And in times of deflation, money supply will be lowered. Then RBI will purchase bonds and releases money into public. So this is the two options here the RBI will use: sell and purchase. So we have to know, in times of inflation RBI will do sell, and in times of deflation RBI will purchase to release money into public. So these are the three types of quantitative measures we have seen. So especially I forgot to say about under this open market operations, recently under the name Operation Twist. So recently RBI has done the Operation Twist. Under Operation Twist, the RBI has sell and buy these bonds to control some situation. So recently here we have encountered with the deflation situation. Okay, we have encountered with deflation situation. That's why the repo rate has been reducing gradually year after year. Consequently, 5 times we have decreased. Nearly 135 basis points we have decreased until now. So by this status of RR, we can know that how we are facing at present, what type of situation we are facing, we can know. So here when the RR will reduce, in times of deflation only RR has to be reduced. So why RR has to reduce in time of deflation? Because in deflation the money supply will be lowered. To attract the public to take loans, the rate of interest has to be decreased. So here indirectly we can say the loans will become cheaper. Then the private investors will take more loans and releases the money supply into public, and therefore the infrastructure can be built up. Due to the infrastructure, the employment will be generated. Due to the employment, the individual income can be generated. Due to that individual income, the consumption of the individual will increase. Due to the consumption increase, the goods and services demand will increase. Due to that, supply has to increase. Due to that, production has to increase. Due to that, growth will automatically increase. So this is the relationship between how the inflation causes this growth. During inflation or deflation, it reflects indirectly hindering of growth. It has to limit. The target has to limit within the target of 2 to 6%, especially in developing countries like India. Okay, so there are 5 types of inflations. The type of inflations here there are 4 types. That is creeping inflation, walking inflation, running inflation, galloping inflation, and hyperinflation. So here it is nothing but creeping inflation means starting 0 to 2%, like it is encountered like developed countries, and walking inflation nothing but 2 to 6%, like developing countries. Running inflation nothing but some 6 to some 10 percentage, some running inflation. Galloping some 10 to 20 percentage. Next hyperinflation 10 to 50%. So here recently Venezuela has been encountered with this hyperinflation. The rates has been uh, abnormously increased over a period of time. For example, at present a pen cost is 10 rupees. Over a period of time, the same pen cost becomes some 50 rupees. So it has increased the price over a period of time. So it is nothing but 40%, nearly 40% increase. So here it is nothing but hyperinflation. So here it is very danger. It has to be controlled. It has to be controlled by some policies. So here RBI is one type of policy. So at present we are in walking inflation. So here within the target we have to keep that limit of inflation, that is 2 to 6%. Here RBI is one of the body. We have seen under some operations, some tools. We have seen how to decrease the inflation or how to control this inflation and control the deflation we have seen. Now we will see some selective qualitative measures. So these are not so much important, but we have to discuss. So here under qualitative measures, the direct control will be given by the RBI. Direct instructions will be given by the RBI. There is no tools. Some direct control. So we will see in a while. So next one is qualitative measures. RBI will do some qualitative measures also. This is nothing but selective controls. So here example as a marginal requirements. So marginal requirements. Next rationing of credit. Next moral caution. Next regulation of consumer credit. Next direct action. Next RBI guidelines. So these are some of the direct control of RBI. So RBI will give some guidelines. So according to the clients will act. For example, take the marginal requirements. So for example, it is nothing but at present some RBI is allowing some 70% limit on gold loan under some marginal requirements. It has kept some margin it has kept. For example, I take some gold, so that gold value is 10 lakh. So the RBI will give some marginal requirements in times of inflation. If inflation is high, the money supply will be, excess money supply will be there. Then to control that excess money supply, so here it puts some margin of 10 lakhs. So the banks will give only 7 lakhs of cash, because there is a higher inflation, because there is excess of money already in the market. So in times of inflation, I take some if I take some 10 lakh gold to get a loan, I will get some 7 lakhs only. So it will limit some amount. So that is nothing but some marginal requirement. So here rationing of credit is nothing but some RBI will give some exercises to control that. Please don't give some more than this. So they will give some credit. They will give some limit of credit. So in this way, there are these type of selective controls are there. So these selective controls will ask in the question as which of the following below are qualitative and quantitative controls, they will ask. You have to be able to say these are the types of qualitative measures and these are the types of quantitative measures. So with this we have completed the monetary policy. So here under the monetary policies we have seen the two, qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative is nothing but we have seen with three types of tools: reserve ratios, policy rates, and open market operations. Those are very important in every examinations. But qualitative measures will directly ask about what is marginal requirements, rationing of credit, moral caution, regulation of consumer credit. This comes under what type of measures they will ask. That's it. The application of this qualitative measures will not that important. So with this we completed the RBI policy. So for time being, we will continue this physical policies of governments in next video. Thank you.